Lesson number 15, girl or boy. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain that allowing people to choose the sex of their baby may skew the sex balance of the population, and explain that allowing people to choose the sex of their baby may lead to other choices being permitted, e.g. eye color. The photograph shows the chromosomes that decide a person's sex. The larger of the two is the X chromosome, the smaller is the Y chromosome. A baby's sex depends on whether a woman's egg is fertilized by a sperm carrying an X chromosome or carrying a Y chromosome. The birth of almost equal numbers of girls and boys occurs because 50% of a man's sperm have an X chromosome and 50% have a Y chromosome. In vitro fertilization, IVF, eggs are taken from a woman and sperm are added. 2 of 3 fertilized eggs are chosen for transfer back into the woman's womb. The embryos consist of a ball of cells. Scientists can take one of the cells without harming the embryo and test it to see whether it has genes that could cause disease. Only embryos shown to be free of faulty genes are chosen to be put back into the woman's womb. Finding out the sex of the embryo is also possible. Some genetic disorders, like Duchenne muscular dystrophy, Fragile X, and hemophilia, occur mostly in boys. If there is a family history of male-linked genetic disorders, then testing to find out the sex of an embryo can be useful. A female embryo can be chosen instead of a male embryo, as females are less likely to develop the disorders. To select the sex of a baby, doctors can either test an embryonic cell to see which sex chromosomes are present, or the father's sperm can be sorted and only sperm carrying the X chromosome or the Y chromosome are used to fertilize the egg. In Britain, parents are allowed to choose the sex of a baby to avoid genetic disorders linked to a particular sex, but not just because they want a boy or a girl. If people are allowed to choose the sex of their baby, then the 50-50 balance of girls and boys can become skewed. In the case of choosing for reasons of genetic well-being, the balance would probably tip in favor of the girls, as there are more genetic disorders linked to the presence of a Y chromosome than an X chromosome. Testing embryos and choosing the ones with healthy genes, or choosing the sex of embryos so that faulty genes do not show themselves, seems a brilliant way of improving human well-being. However, some people see these developments as unethical. They think that if we are given more freedom to pick and choose sperm, eggs, or embryos, then it will only be a short step to our choosing the characteristics we want to see in our children. Choosing the genes which control intelligence and other characteristics would allow us to produce designer babies.